It's Monday morning in Lewes, in East Sussex, in the United Kingdom. This is Rouser Radio. Rouser Radio, delivering daft. And as the week progresses, dafter. Try to share the odd experience with you that might help. This is Ben Sounds Buddy, welcoming you to Monday morning, the 3rd of August. And it's 6:31 in Lewes. I suppose that it's 6:31 in the rest of the United Kingdom, but wherever you are, if you're listening abroad, check your clock and see what time it is, and let's see how many hours are distancing us, because it would appear that many people in the United Kingdom are not using social distancing anymore, and there are lots and lots of disgraceful scenes over the weekend. When I say disgraceful scenes like that, you can tell that I'm no spring chicken. And for some reason, we seem to have a government that it puts its faith in the young and keeps disregarding the old. Well, I'll tell you, Boris, if you're not careful, that's what'll topple you. Because I think that you're making some very strange decisions right now. Very strange. And I suspect that you are listening to one too many people. You were elected on the basis that you were a strong leader, that you made decisions, that you didn't let yourself be influenced. Listen, yes, but not influenced by different pressure groups. But now, when it comes out this morning that you're thinking of locking down the over 50s and then keeping the youngsters out in the streets, is, God help us, if there's any way to end the human race, that's it. In Brighton, they were romping around the front, fighting, yelling. Social distancing, no. Trains jammed. Manchester, in what is described, I think, as a serious incident situation because of COVID. Oldham still locked down. The disease, or the bug, as it were, rampant across Europe. The states in disarray because all 50 states are taking different stances on how they should handle it and how soon they should handle it. The world is in a dreadful state. And now suddenly there's a story that a military or a chemist coming from the military has skipped China and is yelling his little lungs out. And he says that it was all a military plot. That the virus came from a military laboratory, that this was manufactured and let loose. Deliberately, accidentally, doesn't say, but that it was let loose. And that becomes frightening. We already are in an era where we don't understand what we've created. We do not understand the cyber world. Most certainly, if you come down to the ordinary, the biggest complaint now is that institutions are run by computers. I've been saying it for years. I'm fed up of not dealing with humans, being turned down from bank overdrafts by a computer, being sent letters that contradict one another by local councils, by getting letters that mean nothing over COVID from the government. No human contact at all. In fact, my phone was cut off temporarily, briefly, because I hadn't paid a bill. 3 contrary letters. So I phoned and eventually did get somebody after press 1, press 2, press 3, then press 3, 5, you name it. Press 75 buttons and eventually you get through to speak to a human being. She was a very nice human being. I said, "You've cut my phone off. And according to my bank, I've paid." So she checked and said, "Oh yes, I'm terribly sorry, but there was an extra charge which we missed off of 75 pence. So my phone was cut off for 75 pence. And I said, "Well, if I pay it now, can you stop the naughty letters out of the computer, which are, to be blunt and frank, are offensive?" "Oh, I can't do that, I'm afraid," she said. "I can tell the IT department that you're upset." Yeah. You know, IT departments don't understand PR any more than their bloody computers do. It is time for change. And our panel on Mirador Television last night on the round table, which will be out today, as quite clearly came to the consensus that we do need to get back to some form of human contact, that it has gone too far. Even so, there was a mixed review about what is happening with COVID. Is it rampant or is it not? What sort of change are we going to see? But the consensus is that the world is going to change. Whether it's for the better or not is disputed. Whether change will come or not disputed. We are going to enter a new world. And one of the things that came out that was interesting is, and those people who are brawling on the Brighton seafront and could give a fig about anything will undoubtedly disagree with this, and that is that it is obscene with the way that we're paying footballers. It is obscene the way that we're paying a lot of top stars of stage, screen and radio. It is obscene that we've got this elite that are picking up millions for doing what? Doing what I'm doing this morning, talking, or kicking a piece of leather around the park. No, let's not be cruel. Most people, and I say most because there's a lot of patronage in all these things, most people have some form of skill. The argument is that it is out of kilter what they're paid for it. And what I want to know is, if in fact the economy, particularly from the retail section, doesn't recover and people aren't buying, that means the television advertising will start to go down. It's television that basically pay the huge amounts for the rights to broadcast football. If the football clubs aren't getting the money from TV, where is the money going to come from to continuously pay these high-priced performers, high-priced sportsmen and women? Well, at the moment, of course, there are lots of oligarchs with lots of money in their nest who just put their hands into their pockets and say, "Okay, here are a few million, get stuck in. I like the glory of having a football team that's a winning team." It could be that that's one of the things that's going to change. And if glory starts to drop away from sporting heroes, you watch the oligarchs and their bags of money. It will switch to something else very, very quickly. There is no sentiment when it comes to that amount of money. No sentiment whatsoever. Sentiment comes when I can't afford to pay my rates and somebody threatens to cut off the electricity. Now that's reality, that's drama, that's when money means something. But a few million a week to play football, or for that matter appear before cameras, yes, skillful they may be, but the amount of pocket money they're given has skewed the whole of our society, skewed the whole of the aspirations of the younger people, and they're showing it at the moment because they have no discipline, probably no ambition, probably are in a situation in which they think if we work hard we'll get a pittance. If we try for the stars Only a few of us will make it. So what do the rest do? Play up. Ha! Oh, Keith. You are in such a mood this morning, aren't you? Not really. It's just Monday and we've got to get cracking, and there are lots of exciting things out there. But let's just take a look this morning, because quite a bit of music from the 126ers were quite prolific, and some of their stuff is very good. And one here called The Golden Empire. Let's see what it's about. The Golden Empire. The Golden Empire from the 126ers. This is Rouser Radio. I'm Keith Hayes, broadcasting from Lewes in the United Kingdom. Having written an article, or at least an article was published over the weekend in Town and County magazine about Lewes in Delaware and how it was attacked by a British man-of-war during the War of 1812. The captain sailed into the bay, sent a